Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the We Run on Coffee podcast. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Arika.
And how did you like our new intro music?
I wrote this down, so I'm so glad you said it first because I wrote it down to mention it because, guys, Marissa made our new intro song. What do you guys think? I
know by the time that like we're saying this out loud, it's in like two episodes at least. So this should be like the third one.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what episode I was going to put it in first. I didn't know which sound we were going to go with.
I know.
But
Marissa made so many sounds.
I did. I made like 6 attempts, but
I love
this is the one.
It's so
and this
cute.
is the first one that I sent to Arika, and it's the one that stuck.
It's so funny how that works.
I know.
It really just kept being the strongest one every time. I was like, I don't know. I still like that first one.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes.
But that's our like podcast update. I made a new intro sound for us.
Yes, love it. Okay, I have another one before we start, another podcast thing. This is so random because I was saying I wrote down so many, but I want to issue a correction, you guys. I know.
What did you say?
No, it's not crazy, but I just want to say it because I feel like it's important, you guys. So if you remember the imposter syndrome episode, we talked about the DSM-5, and the DSM-5, I can't remember how we said it, but something about the DSM-5 representing the 5 like largest mental disorders or whatever. That's not what the 5 means in DSM-5, and I wanted to correct this just to be correct, because I feel like it's the right thing to do. So I'm going to read everyone a quick definition from clevelandclinic.org on what the actual 5 stands for, because Angela mentioned this to me and I was like, wait, I totally knew that and I completely forgot. But
I feel like as soon as you said, I'm also going to know what it means.
Yes, you are. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, often known as the DSM, is a reference book on mental health and brain-related conditions and disorders. The American Psychiatric Association, or APA, is responsible for the writing, editing, and reviewing and the publishing of that book. So the number 5 attached to the name of the DSM refers to the 5th and most recent edition. So they're literally just editions. There's like a 4, 3, a 2. So the DSM-5's original release date was May 2013, and I think that is still the most recent. And the APA released a revised version of the 5th edition in March of 2022. So that version is known as the DSM-5 TR. TR just means text revision. So nothing crazy, but I just want to say that because if you guys listen to our imposter syndrome and you didn't like do your own research, I don't want to lead you astray. So yeah. It's the number of the editions. So there you go, you guys.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah,
of course
it does.
It's the number of editions.
Duh, I know. And Angela said that to me and I was like, that's so true. And you know what? Normally I'll just be like, whatever. Because all the time he'll say stuff like, oh, you said this on the pod. And I'm like, well, that was stupid, but whatever. But this time I was like, you know what? We're talking about something pretty important. So let's just clarify. So,
yeah. That makes sense.
Yay. So many freaking updates today. I'm so excited.
I know. But before we get too far into our updates, what are you drinking?
I don't know why. I feel like I haven't seen you in like 5 weeks, even though it's only been 2. I think we just done so much. But today I'm just drinking a brown sugar mocha breve iced. Which I don't usually do iced, but it's so hot these days.
It is so hot these days.
Yeah. What about you? I'm excited to hear where you went.
So I think I talked about this place at least to you, maybe not on the podcast, but a long time ago. It's called Badass Coffee.
You did? Hawaiian?
It's a Hawaiian coffee place. And I saw on Instagram, I don't remember who it was, but somebody was talking about like these banana lattes. And I was like, that seems so interesting. I feel like I want to try one.
Yeah.
And then I saw that they had like a banana split latte, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't want like banana strawberry in my coffee.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do banana macadamia nut. And so that's
been on that macadamia nut. I love it.
And their lattes come with cold brew ice cubes. They're iced lattes. Well, the place that I told you about that before was the Spot. Like in Occoquan, but they don't do it anymore. So I was so happy to find this place that does it. So I have it's a DIY latte. That's what they call like the build your own lattes. Yeah. And it's a large with oat milk, and then I got 2 banana pumps and then 2 macadamia nut pumps. And I got this, spoiler alert, I got it last week. And I only did 1 pump of each, and it just tasted like a normal latte. But this one actually tastes like it has a little bit more of the like sweet flavor.
I'm glad you gave it a second chance. I hate when you get a flavored latte that just tastes like coffee. I'm like, I want the flavor though.
I know, but I don't like my coffee to be too sweet either. So I don't want to like get a billion pumps in it just to taste the flavor. I like when you get like the sweet spot where you can get 1 pump and it's just a little sweet and you really get the flavor.
Everything at Big B, Angela orders it half flavor. Like everything. Because he's like, it's insane. But meanwhile, I'm getting full flavor and I'm like, I drank it right down. But no, I hear that.
I think that's why I like lavender lattes so much, because the flavor is really potent in a lavender latte.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people don't like them.
Yes.
But I like it because it's like just a little sweet, but you still get the flavor up front.
Just a little hint. I love that.
I know.
Well, welcome back, you guys. Welcome to our coffees. What are you guys drinking? I'd love to know. I wish we could just talk to you guys. I know. I'm like, it's like when you watched like Dora. It's like, how many trees are there? Good job.
I feel like ever since we've started doing the Spotify polls, we've never asked what people are drinking. So maybe that should be our Spotify poll today.
I'll write it down right now.
You know what I'm saying? Though, like we've
it's
never
so true.
done that.
I want to make like an Instagram one too, because I feel like people are way more apt to answer on Instagram for some reason.
Very true.
Which
very
is fine.
True. Some of you
we'll do both.
Some of you answer on Spotify.
Yeah.
You're the real ones.
Yeah.
But not
Thanks,
all of
Vernita.
you.
Thanks. Angelo does it sometimes.
Under Kyle never answers. My friend Hunter answered a couple for
Ooh,
us.
love it.
She was like on a binge. She was like, I'm catching up on the podcast.
Just all of them. I've seen that before. That's funny. I know the Spotify ones are kind of harder because I feel like people answer it, and then if one of us reviews it, then it's no longer unread. So then the other person probably never sees it. And also, like, I don't go in there and look a lot because I forget.
Yeah,
so
because
like,
we don't get notifications for it.
I wish we did.
Odd.
I'm like, I want a notification for every single one.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know. Okay, well, let's catch up. It's been 2 weeks. We haven't seen each other. What have you been doing? There's been so much.
I have to say, I have a sad update.
No, really?
Yeah, I lost my entire wallet.
No. Oh my God.
Not just the contents of it, the entire wallet. It's
stop. No
I'm not
way.
kidding, Arika.
In what scenario?
Friday.
What happened? I'm like, wait, hold on.
Okay.
Give us this story.
Either I'm being punked.
Okay.
Or I'm an idiot. There's one of the two.
Well, okay.
So me and Kyle decided on Friday, we were like, it's been a long week. We both wanted to like have a drink. And I was like, I'm the bartender around the house. And I was like, I don't want to make it. So I was like, let's go over to Chewy's so that I can get a margarita and like some chips and salsa. I only had one margarita. It's not like I was drunk. I wasn't like stumbling over myself. But we sat there. We had some chips. We had some dip. We had whatever. We had like both one drink each, and then I ordered a drink to go because I didn't want to make a drink when I came home. I was like, I'll make your drink, Kyle, but I don't want to make one. So I ordered a drink to go. We get up, we walk back because Chewy's is walkable to where we live. Okay. So we walk back. The next morning I wake up, we're getting ready to go to another event, which I'll talk about later on in my catch up. And I was like, Kyle, I don't know where my wallet is. And he was like, well, we're walking over to the mall anyways again. Like, we'll go and check Chewy's. And I was like, okay. So we walk over to Chewy's. We asked them, and the event we were doing was at the mall. So they were like, they had a booth outside, and they were like, hey, for two. And I was like, no, actually, we like dined in last night, and I think I left my wallet here. Would you be able to check? And the manager was outside, and he was like, oh, yeah, like, I'll run in and check, like, what am I looking for? So I like gave him a description of my wallet. I told him like there's cards in it, like on the outside, because that's the kind of wallet it is. He's like, okay. So he goes inside, he checks through it. He comes back and he's like, no, the only thing that we have in there is a dead Apple Watch, and nobody's going to find that. And I was like, okay, I don't care about the Apple Watch. It's not what I asked about. And so I was like, okay, whatever. We continued to do the event that we were doing around the mall, and then we walked home, and Kyle's like, okay, we're going to tear apart the apartment. We're going to look everywhere. And I was like, I'm going to look in the fridge. I'm going to look in the freezer. I'm going to look in the trash. Like, I'm looking in the laundry bins. Like, I'm looking everywhere. I look all over the place. We look under the couch, in the couch, like everywhere. Oh my gosh. Nowhere to be found. So then I call Chewy's, which I am terrified of talking to people on the phone. So this is a big moment for me. I call, and I was like, hey, can I left my wallet there last night. Like, would you be able to look? And I call, and then they were like, okay, let me get the manager. And so the same guy that was standing outside of Chewy's, was still the manager on duty. Yeah. And he was like, you're actually the second person to ask. I only have an Apple Watch in my safe. Good Lord. And I was like, well, is there any way you could like check the booth we were at? Like what if it's not in the safe? Yeah, I was like, just in case nobody like has sat there yet today, or like sat there after we left last night. And he was like, well, like we pull all the booths out from the wall to like clean behind them every single night, so somebody would have found it. And I was like, okay, thanks, whatever, goodbye. Yeah. And so either this manager stole my wallet, or he doesn't want to give it back to me. I dropped it on the walk home, which I think I would have remembered, or I left it in the booth and somebody came inside that booth and stole it after we had left.
Did you pay? Like, did you definitely use it?
I did because I ordered a drink and I remember them asking me for my ID.
Oh, dang. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So I don't have a wallet.
Stop.
I don't have any of my cards.
No.
I ordered a new license. I ordered new cards.
Oh, that's the worst. Did you have cash?
And then, no, I don't have any cash.
Well,
so I don't have any money.
Barely a loss these days when you can like turn off all your stuff. It's just like so annoying though.
I know.
Thank God you don't have cash.
I had gift cards in there,
That's sad.
which like is annoying. They probably all have like 30 cents on them. So whoever stole my wallet, I hope you have a good 30 cents off
like
of whatever
spree,
purchase you have. And if you do, please return it. I would love my wallet back because it matches my purse, and that's really sad.
That is really sad. That's just the kind
I'm
of
more
stuff
sad about like the wallet itself being lost. Like I don't care about like the cards and stuff. Yeah. Like the only thing that's a little scary is that it did have my ID in it and it has my current address on it. So that's annoying.
Oh, I don't like that. Yeah.
But if you're not going to rob me, return it to my mailbox, please.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Yeah. If you just want all my cards, keep the cards. You can bring me back the wallet.
You can have all the cards. Yeah. You're not going to get anything. I've locked my credit card. I've locked my debit card. I've ordered new ones. So the numbers are canceled now anyways. I don't even need to have them locked.
Oh, God.
But that was so annoying this morning because I had my card saved in the app to go and get my coffee.
Oh,
of course. I had to add Kyle's card to it because I don't have any money.
Yes. That's actually so annoying. You forget about how many places your card is saved, like websites, and you like order stuff and it's just easy, like Amazon. Oh my God.
It was so annoying.
That sucks.
But the only bright side to all of this is I get a new wallet.
Cute.
I guess I'm getting a new ID. Yeah. I needed to renew my tags on my car anyway, so I needed to go to the DMV website anyways to do that. So it was a good thing that I had to go on there to order my new ID so I could just order my tags at the same time.
That's nice.
And my cards didn't have my new name on it, which is really annoying when ordering stuff because I would say like it's being sent to like new last name versus old last name. And it was a whole like annoying thing. So now my new cards should have my new last name on them.
Yeah. Okay. Nice little refresh, I guess.
Yeah. But I do think that my wallet had my IUD expiration date card in it, which has the lot number of my IUD, which you technically need to get it out, but it's not like they're going to like leave it in me.
Hopefully you can like call them and they can tell you. Hope they write that stuff down.
I hope. And then I'd also have my COVID vaccination cards on it, which I got all of those in Ohio. So I think I'd have to call the Ohio Department of Health. Yeah. But at this point in time, people aren't really asking for like proof. Checking off that you have it, so I don't really care.
I don't know that you'll need that.
But the only thing I'm really sad about is that I think my great grandma in like 2008 gave me this little novelty like $2 bill. It's like this big. It's like the size of like a quarter. Yeah. And she gave it to me, and I think that was in there.
Oh, that's really sad.
It's been in every one of my wallets since she gave it to me.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Oh, I have to
sneeze. No, Erica's about to sneeze.
I know. It's like right there at the end. That is so sad.
Yeah. So I felt so stupid yesterday. And like, I know this happens to people, but like this has never happened to me. Like I've misplaced things in the house, obviously.
Right.
I eventually find stuff all the time, but it's just like, it's actually missing now. And that's outside the house. Feel dumb.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Dang. I hope it just turns up somehow. Yeah. Weirder things have happened.
Yeah. Oh, well, I asked yesterday when me and Kyle got back from all the stuff we were doing, I was like, what if we walked in and the wallet was sitting here? He was like, I'd have a lot of questions, but I would be happy.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that too.
Oh, well.
So strange.
It'll either turn up or somebody's going to get 30 cents off at Target.
Yeah, go off, I guess. That's funny. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your margaritas at least.
I know. They were very yummy.
At least you didn't notice until after you drank them, because then it's like you enjoyed your time, and then it's like, okay, now we have to freak out.
I know. I woke up the next morning, and you know when you think that you're going to be hungover, but you only have a headache for like the first 30 seconds you wake up?
And you're like, wait,
that was me yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. And then I woke up, and I got up, and I was like, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, my wallet's gone.
Yeah, then the reality sets in.
I know.
Damn.
It's so sad.
Okay.
So now I need to buy a new wallet.
Yeah, you do. Maybe it'll be a fun journey to buy a new one. Me trying to be positive. It's like, shut up, bitch.
I hope that you don't lose your wallet.
Me too, thanks.
All of you out there.
Hope you guys can hear that. I just knocked on wood. I'm about to go on vacation, so I don't want to jinx that.
Yeah.
Anyways, what else is new? Anything else crazy?
We had mandatory overtime at work last week.
That's right. I forgot you told me that. And I don't remember who I was with, Angelo and maybe my mom or somebody, and I was just like saying everything that you were texting me, and we were like, this is nuts. We were so mad on your behalf. We were like, this is so dumb.
Yeah, well, it was only the mandatory part of the overtime only lasted for a week, but I've been doing overtime since March. So I've been doing overtime almost every week since March, and
just
I'm doing
another
it
week
again
in
this
paradise.
Week. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But it's nice because I do get extra money, but I am extra tired at the same time. So that's a little sad. But now I'll talk about the other events that I did the last like 2 days or so.
I'm glad you started with the bad one. Now you can go into good.
I felt like I had to get it out of the way. Yeah. But the event we went to at the mall yesterday, it was like this cute little, like, I don't know, like this cute little mall event, but they had like different vendors from around the town come in, and then they also had like, what was it, like food trucks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we just walked around, we like saw the different like vendors and stuff, and they didn't have as many food trucks as we were hoping, and it also said they were gonna have a beer garden like area. I didn't see that. But sad. They said live music, which the live music was actually a DJ. So it was like false advertisement a little bit, but it was really cool.
That sounds
to like
cute.
Walk around.
Yeah.
And then we went to an event for Kyle's work. It was a bowling party. And so we went to this bowling alley, and I actually did okay, which I thought I was horrible at bowling, but it was fun. And that was yesterday afternoon. And then after that, we went to this little area called Mosaic, and it's just like this little shopping area. You can think of it like Easton, but a lot smaller. Mm-hmm. And we went to a place called Bar Taco, which was like the weirdest taco place I'd ever been to.
Oh, okay.
It was like, they had chopsticks at the tables. Like, that's how weird of a taco place it was.
That's so random. Was it Asian fusion, or they just had chopsticks?
No.
Okay.
They just had chopsticks. But
that's funny.
It was good. We got like a bunch of like appetizers and stuff, but if you're thinking of like authentic like taco restaurant, don't go there.
Okay. That's funny.
But it was really fun, and that was like all day yesterday. And then today we're going to the pool.
Yay! And you went to the pool last week after we recorded?
Yeah, we've gone every weekend. We've gone every weekend since it opened, and like that's our goal for the summer, is to go at least one day every weekend.
Oh, that's a good goal. It's a lot of pool time.
I know.
I'm
trying to soak up the sun.
Yeah.
I told Kyle I love a pool day, but I'm also so ready for it to be September.
Bro, okay, I'm not. I am and I'm not. But yesterday I did tell Angelo, babe, you're never going to guess what I've been counting down to. And he was like, what? And I said, September 1st. Guess why? Do you know?
Why?
Because that's when...
I don't know. Oh, you can start watching Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, that's when I start my Gilmore Girls rewatches September 1st. Aww. So I did say that, but I'm still ready to enjoy summer. But that's really funny you just said that.
Yeah, Kyle keeps telling me to not waste the time, wish the time away,
just enjoy
wanting it to to be fall. But I was like, it's hot. I want it to be spooky.
Yes, spooky girl summer.
Okay. I know.
That's funny. Okay, so I have a lot of catch-ups, you guys, but I'll try to keep it slow because, fast.
I just we have so monopolized 20 minutes.
I know, and I'm about to do another. It's going to be bad. Okay, so I'm going to throw it way back to literally 2 weeks ago, the day after we recorded last, I'm pretty sure, to Dominic's surprise party, because I don't remember if I talked about it a little, but I'll give you guys the full rundown. So what happened was Dominic graduated high school. You guys all know that. This is my boyfriend's brother, Ansel's little brother. It was super fun. And then he told his mom, I don't want to grad parties, not into the vibes. He didn't want all the people, all there and kind of in his face and, talking to a lot of people. He's just, not about it. So,
me neither.
Yeah.
I get
it. So Julie was like, okay, but I'm not going to do nothing for him. So we're going to do a surprise party. And she was really good. She was really tight lips because we didn't even know the full extent of it. And usually we do. So she was like, I'm going to plan the surprise. So what she told most of us is that she was planning a surprise amazing race. So we were doing the amazing race, but in our town. So she picked out a bunch of us. I can't remember. There was probably 2, 4, 6, 8 of us. So it's just Dominic and then all his cousins and siblings. So there's 8 of us. We all show up at her house at a certain time. She gives us all our first clue. We open it, run away as fast as we can, get in our cars, and we drive around. Honestly, the radius was pretty big. The first clue was 18 minutes away or something.
Wow. Yes. That's crazy.
But we're all driving, like Caden's driving behind me, riding my ass, honking at me. We're flipping each other off. Like it was crazy. So it was
Caden in his big truck about to run you over.
Literally. And Angelo was on his team. So Angelo was in the back of his truck and I had Dominic and Caden's girlfriend came. So it was Caden's girlfriend and Angelo in the truck, me and Dominic in my car. And it was just so much fun. So we just drove around following all these hints. And then the last hint, of course, led us back to Julie's house. And when we got, well, I should say along the way, this was really cute. Our first hint was just like at a school and there were like shoe boxes on a bench and we had to run up and grab the one for our team and then open it. And
how did she get it there? The people didn't steal it.
Well, I think she talked to the school because it's where the kids used to go to school and she was going to have Dominic's favorite teacher meet us, which is so adorable. But she ended up like last minute. She was like, I'm so sorry, but this came up and I can't do it. And Julie was like, don't worry, it's okay. But that was the first one. So I was just like, oh yeah, they're just going to be like a little thing, like Amazing Race. No, we get to the next one. And at the next clue, there's like a real life person there, Aunt Diane, waiting for us.
I thought that she was a part of like the race. Yes. I didn't know she was like a checkpoint master.
No, she was a checkpoint. Only kids in the race. Like only, I mean, I'm calling myself a kid, but only kids in the race. Like only the younger, like the cousins. And then all like the aunts and stuff were in the race. So she was at a checkpoint and then we left and we went to the next checkpoint and Oma was there. And we had to like start doing like bird calls and like they took videos of us acting out this bird call and then we'd get our clue. Caden, oh my God. So while we were at Oma's stop, it was like at the neighbor's house of Julie and I was pulled into their driveway and then Caden came and he parked me into the driveway so that we couldn't get out until after them.
That was really smart of him, honestly.
It was really smart of him. So we're running out to our car and then they're running in and they're like, haha, this sucks for you. And I go, Dominic, you better hold your horses. I backed out, but in their yard, I feel a little bad, like in their yard, like on the curb between the fire hydrant and Caden's truck. And it was so tight. I didn't know if I was going to hit something, but I did it real slow, real quiet. And I was like, dude, I would have paid money to see them come around the house and realize my car wasn't there because they were shook. They were like, where the fuck did they go? So anyways, all of that was really cool. Everyone had like a different person at each stop. And then our last stop, Julie was at it. Mm-hmm. And it was at a park. And so me and Dominic did end up winning, which is really exciting because I was like, I just want Dominic to win. And I'm so glad we got to. But it ended at this park next to Milkweed. And the whole theme of the race was the very hungry caterpillar. So at each stop, we would get a clue and we would get like one pear, like two whatever, peaches, like the fruits of the very hungry caterpillar. At the last one, it ended near Milkweed. And me and Dominic ran to Julie. She gave us the last clue and we read it and it was like, the race is over, whatever. We waited for all the teams. And then she passed out a manila envelope to every team. And then we opened it and it had these like little blue papers inside. And there was one for each individual person. So everyone grabbed their own individual paper. And then she was like, okay, on the count of 3, open your paper. And we all opened our paper and there were monarch butterflies inside. It was crazy. Aww. And it was like, now Dominic's a butterfly, like he's grown and now he's gonna like go off. It was so cute. He's gonna go like do his own thing.
I think. No,
it was adorable. And so then everyone's like blowing on their butterflies to warm them up and like trying to get them to go in the milkweed, and we're putting them in the park, and it was so cute. Aww. And I have the most precious pictures of everybody, like Hayden and his girlfriend, like Dominic, Aww. Angelo, everyone holding their Aunt Diane, there's one of her holding her butterfly. It was so cute. So I just had to share because that was really crazy and it was so complex. Oh, and then after all that, we all go back to Julie's house and she like invited over some cousins, like some of the neighbors that are close with Dominic, just like a few people. And we had like Olive Garden catering and we played games and hung out and it was so cute.
That is so cute. That sounds like so much fun.
It was.
You got to meet Caden's girlfriend before me.
I know. I asked. Well, because I kept talking about you and I kept talking about the podcast in general. And I was like, do you even know who this is? And she was like, Caden's brother's wife. And I was like, yes.
She knows like who we are.
Yeah, she knows who you guys are. But she was like, yeah, I met most people last time, but they had already left. Like when you guys stayed in Hilliard is when she said she met everyone else. So I was like, okay. But yeah, it was so cute.
Speaking of family, Natalie had her baby.
Yes, that was also on the list. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh. So Natalie had her baby. You think we could say her name? She shared it on social media now. So
it's on Instagram.
Her name's Murphy and she's so cute.
I know. She had her last weekend.
She was adorable. I was just like, I'll say it here. I'm not even ashamed. Not all babies are super, super cute. Okay?
Oh, you don't have to be ashamed. A lot of babies are cute.
People will say all babies are cute. I'm like, no, not all of
they're
them.
Not.
Maybe they're a little cute, but they're not all super, super cute. And I saw some pictures of Murphy and I was like, oh, girl, she is super, super cute.
Yeah, I'm excited to see her at like a month old when like their face looks normal.
They start to like really grow into themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And we're going to see them so soon. So
I'm
hype. Anyways.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so that was Dominic's surprise party. That was super fun. My other update is that I went to Kentucky again. So love that for me. I already
basically live there now.
I basically live at my cousin Pam's. But yeah, Angela and I went to Kentucky again. We went on a Wednesday night. We watched my cousin graduate. I already talked about this in my looking forward to, so I won't go crazy. But then I just stayed through the weekend and we had her party, which was adorable. And if you want to see how cute the party turned out, check out my YouTube channel because that video is up. Okay, Amelia's birthday dinner. So June is a busy month for birthdays in Angela's family. So we had Amelia's birthday dinner last Tuesday, and we have Vernita's birthday dinner in 2 days. But Amelia's birthday dinner was, she just wanted to have a bonfire and have everyone over to do like a cookout. And then we did an ice cream bar. And I was like, this is my kind of thing, like love. Yeah. So, and she got me dairy-free ice cream, which was so nice because she also has been eating lactose-free too. So that was cute. Happy birthday, Amelia. That's all I have to say.
Happy birthday.
That the next day, which I didn't know. So, okay. We had the birthday bonfire. And then the next day I was leaving to go to Charleston, South Carolina. I didn't know what they were doing the next day. So I'm going to talk about Charleston first and then I'll talk about that. It's a lot. Okay. But anyways, I went to Charleston for work. It was very fun. I went Wednesday morning through Friday night and I tried my first cycling class, which Marissa knows, and I hated it. And it actually was so funny because I posted on my story and all I said was like, went to cycling at 6 a.m. with no coffee. And I did get other people swiping up and being like, doing this without coffee is criminal. And I was like, okay, thank you for validating me. Maybe that's a part of why I felt horrible. But also Natalie swiped up and she was like, oh my gosh, love to see it. I love cycling. Did you have so much fun? And I was like, no.
Yeah, well, that's why I told you. Hard. We talked about this on the podcast a couple of like weeks or months ago. Yeah. And it was when we were talking about doing a cycling class together. And I told you that you weren't going to like it at first.
Oh my God, I hated it. It wasn't even the choreo or the music though. Like that I was good at because dance. I'm like, I get that. Yeah. But I couldn't stand. I was such a little bitch. Like I sat the whole time. It was so hard. And I also think I wasn't adjusted on the bike properly.
Well, this is why I told you that you wouldn't like it. It's the same reason that I think that you don't like running. It's because it's something you've never done and you don't think you're good at it at first. Yeah. And I'm the same way. If I don't think that I'm good at something, I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to want to do it.
This is stupid.
Yeah, but I was talking to Kyle about this because he said that he's the same way as like how I'm perceiving you. And like, you can tell me if I'm wrong. You can tell me to shut up. But I like to do things that are hard because like it gives me that sense of accomplishment. Yeah. Kyle likes to do things that are easy because it shows him that he's accomplishing something that he's good at.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I think that that's more similar to you, like doing things that like you're good at because you get this sense of accomplishment at being good at it.
Well, I told Angelo, I don't know what it is, but I told Angelo, I was like, I don't even like riding bikes. So why did I think I was going to like that? I don't know. Because with running, like that I do feel like, oh, I'm trying something hard and I'm like, I want to accomplish it just to say I could. Even though I'm like struggling with it. That's how I feel about that. But the cycling, I was just like, this sucks. Like every part of this sucks. Like it's 6 a.m. I don't have coffee. I feel like I'm going to pass out. I feel like people are judging me because I don't look as good as everyone else because this isn't a beginner class, which I thought it was. It was not. I can't stand up. My ass hurts because I'm sitting the whole time. It was just like, this sucks. So I don't know what it was. I don't even know. I just didn't even like the vibes.
But I think that I just want you to like it so much that I'm trying to give you like, a reason as to why you don't like
just
it.
Just try again. I liked when they made the whole room black and no one could see you and they said, do whatever you want.
Yeah,
and she was
so
like,
fun.
I don't care what you do as long as you keep moving. And I was like, bitch, I am barely moving. I was going so slow.
Like, I'm just barely pedaling.
But it's fine. It was like, I'm not mad that I tried it, but I was not about to go for a second day. The girl who like coordinated, she was the only one that went the second day. There were 3 of us on the first day and she was the only one left by the second day because it was hard. But really what sucks is because I sat the whole time, my butt hurts so bad. Yeah. I like bruised it up. Yeah. Anyways, that was my cycling experience. It was fine. It started out as my friend Callie, so shout out. I don't know if she listens, but she's in our book club. She was like, do you want to take a dance class in Charleston? And I was like, yeah, would love to do that. I'm glad you asked, because she kind of does some tap dance and stuff too. So I was like, yeah, let's set it up. And then she messaged me a few weeks later and she's like, okay, so this is all I found. And it was 6 a.m. cycling. And so I was like, okay, now I kind of feel like I already committed when I was like, yeah, I would love to. So I was like, I guess I'll do it. And I know I should do it, but I already didn't want to. So that probably doesn't help. You know, when you go into something, it's what we were talking about last week. It's like, if you already have a bad attitude about it, not a good setup. You're not gonna
have a good time.
Anyways, okay, I'm gonna hurry up because, oh my God, we're half an hour in. South Carolina was amazing. If you want to see more about that, check out my YouTube channel and my Instagram. Okay, I have pictures and you guys can catch up. But it was super, super fun, and it was so hot there. I couldn't believe it was a different kind of hot, which I didn't expect, to be honest. I don't know why.
It's wet out here on
it
the
was
East Coast.
It was so like thick. It was just thick out and hot. But okay, so while I was in Charleston, nobody informed me of this because Angela wanted to keep it a surprise, which is so cute. But the day after Amelia's bonfire, they went to pick up a new puppy. And I had no idea. Oh, wait, I'll show you the picture. I actually do have one. So when I got home from the airport, Angela picked me up at the airport and he's like, okay, here, I brought you water here. I brought you some snacks. I was like, oh my God, thank you, babe. So nice. Like, thanks. And then he starts driving and he didn't turn to go to our house. And I said, where are we going?
Where are we going?
And he goes, straight. And I was like, yeah, no shit. Where are we going? And he's like, you'll see.
You're like, obviously you didn't take a left here or right here.
Yeah, so we are going straight. Thank you. So then he drove me to his mom's. I was like, what are we doing at your mom's? And then we go in and there's just a freaking cutest puppy ever. Aww. It's so cute. And his name is Euchre and he goes by Yuki for short.
Yuki.
So now they have 2 dogs, Murphy and Yuki. His name's Yuki Finch. And they drove to Michigan to get him on Wednesday while I was gone and then kept it a secret the whole time. This is what he looks like. You can kind of see his eyes. He is a Woodle, just like Murphy is, but he is more Wheaten. So he has more of like, his hair is a little bit straighter and it's so soft, actually. It's so cute. So he's a little bit less poodle than their other dog. But yeah, that's the catch up. I feel like I rambled that last time, but I had to do
That's
it.
Okay. That's okay.
I can't breathe, but it's so cute. I really just want to go play with Yuki all day. I'm like, you're so cute. And then I feel bad though, because whenever I go over there, I never pet Murphy because me and Murphy aren't really close like that. No. But I felt so bad when I went over there. I was like all over the little dog and I was like, Murphy, I'm so sorry. So I pet Murphy a lot because I felt bad.
Can we talk about how this family loves to name, like, have people named the same thing in the family? We have 2 Cadens. We have 2 Murphys.
Yeah, 2 Cadens, 2 Murphys. I know. It's actually funny. I didn't even think about the Cadens. I was like, wait, who else?
Yeah. Well, that's only 2.
I was going to say, who's named Euchre? I know. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there will be more.
Maybe more duplicates in the future. This family loves to have duplicate names, though. Yeah. And it gets a little confusing sometimes.
Right. I know. With the new Murphy, Natalie's Murphy, I'm like, I feel like I have to say her middle name. And then with the dog, I feel like I have to say like Murphy, the dog.
Murphy dog.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Let's dive in because we're already half an hour in, which is fine.
Let's dive in, quote unquote.
I didn't want to even do that many discussion questions, to be honest, just because I was like, I don't know. I just didn't like any of them. And also the book was just mid to me. And I think you might have agree. So yeah, I don't hate it, but I'm just like, I don't know if I really need to do 10 questions, you know? So this is good. Yeah. It's fine. Welcome to book club. I feel like I should have said that at the beginning.
Welcome to book club 33 minutes into the episode.
I guess before I really do dive in, you guys, I'm going to give you a rundown. So that way, if you do want to skip ahead, you can. So here's how this is going to work. First of all, we read Meet Me at the Lake by Carley Fortune. And if you missed it, last year we did another Carley Fortune book, which was called Every Summer After. And I don't remember what number book club that is, but I would guess around 3 or 4.
I think 3.
Probably 3.
Around then.
Yeah. So go back if you'd like to listen to the first one. And I really fell in love with that book and I liked her writing. So that's why I chose this book. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to read a summary and then Marissa and I are going to give our ratings of this book. And then we'll dive into questions. And then after that, we're going to do our dream casting of just the 2 main characters, which
I think that's so funny to do that now.
I love it. After we did it last time, I was like, this is a staple. Like we must, because now after I get done reading, I like think about, I literally just Google actors and I start going through to pick one.
I feel like I don't have one for this, so I want
had
you
a hard
to go
time.
First.
I will. I had a hard time with this one, but I did think about it last night. But I think because I didn't love the book as much as the first one, I had a hard time picking people.
Yeah, this book wasn't giving movie. All the other books that we've done give movie, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree. So anyways, I'm going to start with the summary, you guys, like I said. So strap in because it's a long summary. But as you know, we do this every time. So if you haven't read this book, you can stick around. I think you're going to get plenty of info from the summary to keep going. This is from supersummary.com. Okay, here we go.
Classic.
Hand scene. Okay. Fern Brookbanks, 32, finds herself in charge of her family's lake resort after her mother's sudden death. Fern chose long ago to not be a part of the family business, but her plans change with her mother's passing. She's unsure whether she wants to keep the resort and experiences grief related to her complicated relationship with her mom. While staffing the front desk, Fern encounters 32-year-old Will Baxter, dressed in an expensive suit. It takes her a moment, but she realizes it's the exact same Will Baxter that she fell in love with a decade earlier and has constantly thought about over the years. So when Will and Fern were 22, they met while Will painted a mural in the coffee shop where Fern worked. Fern was fresh out of college and preparing to move home from Toronto to the lake resort and began working with her mother. Fern did not want this life, but she resigned herself to it, feeling that it was expected of her. Fern and Will spend a whirlwind day together that really changed the course of Fern's life. They planned to meet again 1 year later on the docks of the Brookbanks Resort, but Will never showed up. Dun dun dun. Boo Will. Will shows up 10 years later because he made an agreement with Fern's mother, his services as a business consultant for free in exchange for a stay at their resort. Fern is shocked at how much Will has changed from the artsy 22-year-old that she once knew. Will's presence brings back intense emotions for Fern, which she must learn to manage if they're going to work together. Fern confronts Will about his abandonment, but he only offers vague explanations. Will convinces Fern to trust him as a business person, and they agree to make 2 plans, one for if Fern keeps the resort and one for if she sells it. Fern isn't sure what she wants to do. The resort brings back bad memories of her destructive teenage years, but her emotional attachment makes selling the business uncomfortable. So Will and Fern work side by side. They begin making up for lost time, fulfilling their broken plans from the day that Will didn't show up. They take a canoe on the lake to discuss the resort's future. It rains, and Will and Fern return to shore, taking shelter in the storage shed. This part is written so cheesy, you guys, so bear with me. They almost kiss, but Fern pulls away, scared that Will doesn't know her anymore. It gets worse. Will delivers an album. Oh, no, not yet. Will delivers an album that Fern mentioned wanting to own on their very first day together, just to show that he remembers who she is. Will invites Fern to his cabin for dinner and cooks for her. He tells her that he got his job as a business person, or whatever he is, a consultant, when taking on responsibility for his sister and her daughter, and that he wants to provide for them. His life changed a lot after he met Fern, and his mental health was impacted greatly. They discuss Fern's future, and Will points out how much he feels Fern loves the resort. He thinks she wants to keep it, but won't admit it to herself. Fern becomes upset and feels that Will is overstepping. She leaves angrily, but returns hours later to apologize. This is where it gets cringy. She tells Will she wants him, and they have sex for the first time. That's what it says. Fern and Will begin to see each other more regularly, becoming involved romantically and sexually. Okay. I know. It's so cringy. Fern confronts her grief by reading her mother's old diaries, which she last read as a teenager. The diaries contain information about Fern's biological dad that made her rebel. She decides to pursue them again to feel closer to her mother. Fern also spends time visiting her family dock where she and her mother used to sit together, and she realized that she wanted to keep the resort. Her friends and Will help her celebrate this decision. Let me see how many paragraphs are left. Oh, Lord. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Will decides to stay for 2 extra weeks from his first allotted time, which puts him there for the end of summer dance. Fern decides she'll confess her feelings for Will at the dance. She's not sure what will happen when he returns home to Toronto, but she wants him to let her into his life. That was confusing. Will has been secretive about his family back home, and Fern feels that he isn't giving all of himself to her. She fears he's going to abandon her again. Dun, dun, dun. In the past, Will stayed the night at her apartment during a blackout. So this is a flashback to when they were younger, 22 years old. He sketched her as she posed on the bed, and Fern explains her fears about moving home to run the resort. Fern confessed that she almost died due to her destructive teen years. Her mother saved her life, and she felt she owed it to her mother to follow her plans. Will helped Fern realize it's her own life to do what she wants with, and she shouldn't squander her second chance. He helps her make a 1-year plan, and Fern helps him do the same. So back to the present, Fern and Will are the opposites of who they wanted to be in their 1-year plans. Wow. Fern finishes. Yeah, who knew? Fern finishes reading her mother's diaries the night before the dance while Will sleeps next to her. She cries about her love for her mother, and Will wakes up and comforts her. The next morning, she wakes up and Will is gone with no notes or no texts.
Bye-bye.
Abandoned again. She cannot get in touch with him. Fern attends the dance alone, hoping he'll show. Being surrounded by people at the resort makes her feel at home, but she knows something is wrong without Will. Fern learns that Will checked out and arranged for his things to be sent to him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. She calls him until he answers. His niece is in the hospital and he says their relationship was a mistake. Fern confesses her love, but he does not verbalize his own. Furious, Fern decides to burn Will's things, but discovers a sketch of herself from that day that Will didn't show up for their 1-year reunion. So basically, that's confusing. But basically,
she learns that he was there.
Yeah, he was there at the 1-year reunion, and he drew her sitting on the dock alone, but he never talked to her. So So she feels betrayed, realizing he was there all along. Last paragraph, guys. Will's sister contacts Fern. Will's niece is recovering, and with the help of Will's sister, Fern confronts Will, back in Toronto, by the way, who explains that he feels selfish when he indulges in things that make him happy because of his mom's abandonment. He also has an anxiety disorder, which he takes medication for. Okay, that's unnecessary. Okay, he explains.
That was so specific.
So I know.
That was a sentence in the book.
Okay, thank you. I know. He explains that he was too scared to face Fern 9 years ago because he was already a changed person after his niece's birth. Fern and Will agree to build a life together and not to keep things from one another. Will eventually moves to the lake to be with Fern, and he proposes to her. And in the epilogue, Fern begins a diary for her own daughter to read one day. The end. Did you read the epilogue?
I did.
And did you read the author's notes?
No.
Okay.
For the first time, I didn't read the author's notes. I was going
to say, I never do either. And I read to the very end till I couldn't read anymore. So, okay, let's dive in. What do you think? What's your rating?
I think that I need to point out one part. Saying that Will's sister contacted Fern was crazy. She accosted her at her front door, actually, is what happened.
At the front door of her, I guess, was she moving out of her old apartment?
She was moving out of her Toronto apartment.
It was a little confusing.
Go back to the lake. Yeah.
I was I thought she didn't even have that apartment anymore. I was so confused at the end.
Her saying that summary saying that Will's
she reached
out. That's crazy. No. She showed up at her front door.
Yeah, Will's sister was they really just brought her in right at the end, and she was a little jarring of a character. I was like, oh yeah,
shit. She was like, listen to me, girl.
Yeah. So okay.
I think my rating is a 3.5. I was expecting summary romance, cute little normal romance at the lake, and it was that, and I like kept reading to like find like the romance part of it, and I liked the tension between the two characters, and I think that's what gives me like the 3.5. But it wasn't adding up to like what she talked about in her last book. Like the way that her last book was written, it wasn't the same way. I feel the same about a 3.5. I was like, I want to give it 4 because I do think what I've learned, I think I really do like Carley Fortune and like how she writes. I think I like that a lot, but this story just wasn't fully giving. And there were times I feel like when I was reading, I was like, okay, this chapter is giving like 4.5. Like this one's so good. And then I'd read another chapter. I'm like, this is a 3 chapter. So it's like when you put it all together, you kind of have to, I don't know, evaluate. Yeah, I agree. I also think that as soon as I started reading it, I was like, oh no, Arika's not going to like it because it was dual timelines. I know. And you hate a dual timeline. I know. Actually, this one was okay because at least when they go back to the day when they were 22, it was one day. So I was like, okay, I don't have to try to like, figure out how old they are, what year it is. Like it was only that day. So I didn't hate that. And then I thought it was like that in the other one. Her first one, I'm pretty sure. It was. So I think I don't mind it. I think she does it. I think maybe she does it well. Yeah. I think that the way that it works well is because she does focus on one day in the past. Yes, it's not or like one time period. It's not like multiple years. Yes, I agree. So not bad. But I thought the same thing. I was like, oh shit, this is going to kill me. But it wasn't bad. I didn't mind that. Have you read November 9 by Colleen Hoover? Yes. Did you like the way that one was dual timelined? Because it was technically the same day. It was just like years apart. I did like that. I think that's the problem is it's like August 4th, 1992. And then it's like September 5th, 1993. And I'm like, how much time has passed? Like that's hard. Yeah. So yeah, I do figure out like the timeline. Because I did read that. You let me borrow that one and I did read it. And I actually really liked that book. That was probably one of her better ones to me. And I didn't struggle with that. So yeah, I think the same day helps. Okay. It just has to be so clear. I feel like it has to be so clear. Like in this book, it was like,
they were only ever at the coffee shop or her apartment when they were 22 years old. And it wasn't complicated, I guess. It was more about how they felt and less about the setting, which helps.
Yeah. I think I like reading books like that too. Like when we were reading 5 Total Strangers, the one that was the car, like the young adult thriller.
Yeah.
I really like closed room thrillers like that too, like where everything's happening in one room, because it's
don't confuse me.
Yeah, it's less of like trying to figure out like the whole scenery. I think that's why I wouldn't like fantasy books, because a lot of them you have to learn the whole world.
Yeah, I'm scared
of the books before you like understand what's going on.
I'm on the waiting list for Fourth Wing at the library because I bought it, but it's a big ass book, and I was like, I need this on my Kindle or I'll never read it. So I'm like waiting for the Kindle version at the library, but I'm scared. Yeah, I agree all around. It might be the first time we like have the same rating on a book.
I think so. We've been close a couple of times.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Okay, so without further ado, we can get into the questions. I have my Kindle.
I'm ready for the discussion questions.
So these questions are at the end of the book, everybody, if you're wondering. And we're just going to jump around and do a couple because I didn't love a lot of them, to be honest. But
this is the second time we've read a book that has discussion questions at the end.
I know. I love that. And I found, so last time we read her book, I found her questions on her website in a beautiful PDF. It was like colorful and pretty. And she had the same thing for this, but they were just the same questions as in the book. So, but Carley Fortune does do on her website. It's called a book club like packet or whatever, and you can download it and print it, and it's like 10 pages, and you can like read author's notes and read questions, and it's really cute for book clubs, so I highly recommend. So yeah, let's talk about Whitney and Fern. Whitney is Fern's best friend in the book, you guys. She didn't get mentioned in the summary at all, which is kind of awkward.
That's crazy.
She was kind of in it. But this question is, how did you see Whitney and Fern's friendship evolve, and have any of your longer lasting friendships ever had similar ups and downs?
Ooh, this is a good question.
I know. I actually really liked that one.
I didn't read any of the discussion questions because I knew this was your book club, so I didn't want to think about them.
Okay, I love that.
So, like Arika said, Whitney and Fern are like the besties in the book. They've been together, They've been friends for years.
Like since they were kids.
Those. And when Fern moves away to Toronto and like out of the small town, when she decides to not come back after college, it kind of like fractures their relationship as friends, and it like draws them apart. And I think that I can relate to that because I'm the one that moved away. And I wouldn't say that it's fractured my friendships, but it's definitely like it has changed the dynamic a lot, because you have to you have to prioritize the time when like you go home to visit the people and like talk to them, and then you can see like them making relationships with other people and like me making relationships with other people. And I think that was the dynamic that they had in the book. And I would say that's like kind of what just happens in life. Like even if you don't move far away, like you do see like relationship dynamics change over time.
Yeah, they always will. I feel like it's unavoidable.
Yeah,
but I feel the same way. So we saw that Whitney and Fern, like Marissa said, they kind of things changed when she moved away, of course, when Fern moved to the city. And of course they're like, it's giving like they're from a small town, she moved to the city, which is very like so relatable. Yes, like so relatable to me. So I totally feel that. And then Whitney actually came to visit her in Toronto, and like they got not in a fight, but they were awkward the whole trip, because it was just like Whitney doesn't like Toronto and Fern loves Toronto, and Fern would really love for Whitney to love Toronto and like understand her, but she doesn't. And so it causes like a little bit of just an awkwardness or like a riff. And they also talk about like briefly that they had a big blow up fight in their youth when Fern was like rebellious in high school, and Whitney was like, girl, if you're going to keep wrecking your own life, like I can't be friends with you because it's hurting me too. And so they kind of like had a little breakup, which totally fair. And the answer is yes. Like, of course, I totally relate to this. And I think of my best friend, Cree. Shout out Cree. But we were so best friends, like all from kindergarten is when we met. And then in the 5th grade, her family moved like a good amount, like, I don't know, over an hour away. And it was so sad. And then I just remember like we'd try to see each other all the time. We'd like have our parents meet up at like a random gas station. Aww. And like we'd go to each other's houses, and it was so cute. But then once we got to high school, it's like, okay, now we're old enough to see each other, but it's a lot of work that you have to put in when your friend like doesn't live by you anymore. So like going there is like a whole thing. But now that we're adults, like fully, and she has a daughter, like we get to see each other way more, and just, I don't know, just things change. And we've definitely fought through the years, but what friendship since kindergarten do you not get in a fight? I'd be impressed, you know? So I totally related to their friendship. And I felt like usually I don't like the friend character in the book, and I'm just like, why is this person even a character? But
yeah,
I like
but
it.
I feel like it's so interesting because Whitney in the book also has a kid, and like your friend has a kid.
That's so
and
true. I didn't even think of that.
When you were going through that, I was like, wow, this is really just
like identical
your relationship. Not that you like had a big fight or whatever. Like you could have, but
we totally did. Me and Kree, she would say the same thing. We just both used to like argue with each other because we just like when you are in kindergarten, you are just kids, right? And then you go to high school and it's like you develop your own full personality and you don't get along the exact same way you do when you're kids. So like, yeah, it just makes sense. But yeah, that's so true. She does have a kid. That's funny. Yep.
That's so
Whitney
cute.
is Kree and I'm Fern. It's exactly true. And she also like she didn't go to college, she started her life, and so we're just in different life stages just the same way that they are. So I don't know, it's interesting.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Goodness.
I'm so glad you're here to draw these connections the way I would have just not even ever thought about that ever again.
I know. I hope Kree listens to this one so she can be like, oh my god, that is our
friendship.
Know.
I need to tell her. Okay, so the next question I want to talk about, again, Jamie didn't get mentioned in the super summary. Jamie is Fern's like OG boyfriend. Yeah, like her ex-boyfriend who's from the resort. He loves this resort. He's like so passionate about it. They used to work together when they were younger, and then
he's in a relationship with the resort, actually.
Literally, he's dating the resort. They're married. When Fern went to college and like lived in Toronto or whatever, she didn't go to college, did she?
She did.
Oh, okay, she did. So when she went to Toronto, Jamie stayed behind and he like worked with her mom and worked at the resort and just like made that his wife, his passion. Yeah. So this question is, what do you make of Fern and Jamie's relationship in the past and the present? And do you think they would have stayed together if Fern had never met Will on that one day?
I think that they were only together by circumstance.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would have been each other's person. Like they would have never like decided to date each other if they had not been so close as kids, like growing up on the resort together and like getting to know each other like their whole lives. I think that you can like see this in like other people's relationships too. Like I don't know, you just like know those people that, I mean, I don't want to say like that have been together since they were little kids because it's literally me and Kyle, but
wait, true.
It's like, you know, those people that like grew up in the same town, like they went to like elementary school together, middle school together. They'd always been friends, and then they just like, it's like girl next door kind of relationship. Like they're like, oh, it's just like the person that's always there for me. And I don't think that that's like what Fern wanted. I think it was just because he was there.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Do you think they would have stayed together if she hadn't met Will? I don't think so.
I think that they could have. Yeah. But like not in a like a lovey-dovey forever kind of
so
way.
Happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
It would have just been like they were complacent in the relationship, so they like did everything that they thought they were supposed to do.
Yes, I feel the same way. I'm like, if she never met Will, then maybe she wouldn't have like really critically thought about her relationship with Jamie, and she would have just stayed. And it seemed like Jamie didn't really mind that, like, you know, they were just together, la-di-da, long distance, la-ta-ta. But I feel like the reason that because in the end he did break up with her, it wasn't the other way around, but I feel like it's because she got distant, and it's because she stopped like texting back as much, and it's because she like, you know, wasn't coming back to the resort and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if she would have made those choices if she hadn't met Will, because he kind of like, I mean, she was obsessed with him, so she kind of was just like, okay, yeah, I should stay in Toronto and I should do this and I should do that. So she became distant because of the things Will told her. So I don't know if they ever would have gotten to that point, but if she hadn't met Will, I feel like they could have stayed complacent.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, next question. I think we can do two more, and then I'm feeling good. I'm like, I don't even want to get into this book that much. It's so bad. But okay, we're going to talk about Maggie and Peter, who we haven't talked about in the summary yet. So I guess the summary was just about the main characters, but fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
So Maggie is the mom who died at the very beginning. Well, she was already passed away when we started the book, I think, but that is like how we got introduced to her. So that's Fern's mom, Maggie, and then her friend Peter. They kept calling him her best friend, but then it was like clear that they were obviously like
they were like dating, but they like weren't,
but like
dating.
secret, and and so
secret to like each other. Like everybody kind of knew that like they were like besties or like friends, or like they would like go on dates or whatever. Yeah, but like neither of them decided that they were dating.
Yeah, it's like they were giving like gay best friend do everything together, but he wasn't gay and he liked her.
Yeah.
So it was really really weird. So do you think that Maggie and Peter's love story is a sad one or a happy one? I liked this question. I thought it could go either way.
Both. I genuinely do. I think like just knowing that you have that person like always there for you and like always like, I don't know, supporting you, always like hanging out, like acting like a partner to you is like so happy that she had that. But I think that it's so sad because neither of them said that they were each other's partners, and then she passed away before they could do anything about it. Like, they never got to live together. They never got to talk about like a future together. Yeah, because Maggie died.
And it seemed like they were trying to say that like they were holding out until Fern like came back or whatever to like do their talk, and she just never got to that point. So I agree. I think it is sad and happy. The way that I liked the character Peter, I thought he was like a really cute character. Unproblematic king. Fern, they alluded to the fact that like Fern was really kind of hoping that Peter was her biological dad because she never knew him, and when she read the diaries she found out that he was not. It was just some random lifeguard from the resort, but
some random guy named Eric.
Yeah, literally my stepdad. But I think
that random guy named Eric.
Maggie and Peter's love story, I think it was sad because they never got to that point, but it was also happy because the way that Peter would just like, he talked about Maggie and he'd be like, I'm just happy for the years I got. Like, I loved her, and I knew that she was like my person. So if she didn't want to define it, I didn't care. I was still seeing her every single day. So he almost seemed like happy with how it turned out, and that was really sweet. It was cute.
Yeah, they did talk about each other so lovingly, which was the happy part. But at the same time, like, they never
like, just tell each other, guys.
Ever after.
I know, it's so sad, so happy, bittersweet, if you will.
Yes.
Okay, last question, because I'm ready to be done with this book, and then we're gonna Dreamcast, which is the best part to me. I love Dreamcasting.
I have my people. When you were reading the summary, I was like, I read this book, I'm gonna look up people.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so this is the last question. The fact that life doesn't always work out as we plan it is the theme of this book. Does your life look the way you pictured it when you were younger?
No.
Same. I love this question because I was one of those kids, and I'm sure there are a lot out there because I've heard this a lot, where I was like, oh my gosh, by the time I'm 20, like, I'll have my first kid, and then I'll like be engaged and get married and like all this stuff. I was like, oh yeah, 20 is definitely the age. And then you're 20 and you're in college and you're like
I'm a baby.
What the fuck? Yeah, like, I'm just drinking at the frat house. Like, this is not what I thought it was gonna be.
I'm not having the frat house baby. That's for sure.
I know. And my mom had me when she was 20 and she got pregnant at 19. So I also was just like, oh, I just thought it was going to be like that. And
like, it just makes sense. Like, my mom did it, so why don't I?
Yeah, it's just like how it works. So for sure, no. It does not look how I pictured it at least at this time.
Yeah, I was just talking to Kyle about this a little bit because I know a lot of people, and like, maybe you did or maybe you didn't, but I never as a kid like imagined growing up and like planning a wedding. I never like imagined like an extravagant wedding. I never imagined growing up and having a kid. Like, when I was in like probably like kindergarten, I was like, oh, little baby, so cute, like whatever, like every like little girl does, like carrying around a baby and being like, I'm a mom, baby or doll, whatever. But after that, like, when I grew up and understood what that was by like 8 to 10, I never did that again. And I was like, it's just so interesting to like see people that did picture that and like always thought of it and like see them being able to accomplish it. But I was like, I've always been a forward thinker, but like with big things like this, like, I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
But here I am, like married at like 24, and that's crazy.
Yes, that's so true. I was definitely that kid. I'm just like looking outside because there's this little kid, and this is a distraction, but he's so cute. And yesterday he came up across this like hill in our backyard, and he saw me and Angelo grilling, and he goes, hey guys, look, there's a duck. Guys, duck. And it was so cute.
You're like, that's a duck.
Yes. And he just came out again, and it's just adorable. But anyway, yeah, I was opposite. I was definitely like, I have a wedding dream book that I made when I was probably like 12 or 11. That's like crazy. I have it upstairs, and it has like a gold cover, and I like printed stuff and cut it out and put it in there, which I'm excited to look at because it's probably very chuggy now.
Yeah, but like whenever you do actually plan a wedding, to look at that.
So cringy. And I even wrote out when I was 12, and then again when I was like 15, and then again in college, I'd like write out who my bridesmaids would be, and it would change like over the years, you know, which is so funny.
That's so controversial.
I know, it's tea. So yeah, I was definitely a dreamer of those things, but I always say this to Angelo, I like don't as much, and like we talked about this a few weeks ago where I was like, I could just never get promoted and be fine, and I never thought I would be that person at work, but that's because like I really feel like I want to be a mom. I really feel like that's my life purpose, and there's people I've met out there who feel the same way. Like I think my friend Taylor, she also feels that way, where more like I'd rather like just be a mom, or like I want to get married, and like those kind of, I don't know, traditional, I don't know the word, things I really want. And I feel like those are going to be my passion.
I know. Like,
I know.
If I never got promoted at work, I would feel no sense of purpose.
Yeah.
But that's because I don't want to be at home.
Yeah. And I think that's where I'm like, and it's kind of sad to say, and maybe it's bad to say, I have no idea, but I'm like, oh, when I become a mom, like that will be my passion, like that will be my purpose in life. Like I really feel that way. So I'm like, until then, I don't know, I'm just kind of hanging out. but it's so true. And I definitely thought I would be like a young mom though, because like I don't know,
that's
I also feel like and that's like a small town thing kind of too. I feel like everyone from my high school's a mom probably, so I always thought that would be me, but now I'm like good. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not even engaged and I'm fine. We're just doing stuff, we're traveling, we're having fun.
Aw.
So I liked that was the theme of the book, and I like that as the last question. I feel like it's nice.
I think that like I guess I never answered like what I thought my life would look like.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I'm not like I was never a forward thinker. I didn't think that I would leave Ohio. Like
wow, yeah.
My parents, my family, like everybody has always been in Ohio. Nobody's ever left. Like I thought that that would just be
do the same.
Me, which is like okay, but like knowing that I was the person that was able to like I guess spread their wings. Like I don't want to say that the people that didn't leave didn't spread their wings. Like they all like had their own life purpose and stuff. But like I was the one that was able to like fly the coop and get out.
I feel the same way, but opposite, which is so funny because welcome to our podcast. This is why we're here. You guys were kind of opposites, but also the same. But I was such a dreamer. I was like, I will leave this town as soon as I'm old enough. Like I'm getting out of here. And I was also the same way where it's like all my family's there. Like nobody really moved out of state or anything like that. Like all my family's here in this one little town. But I like it. It's been fun to flee the coop, as you say.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, okay. Let's get into our dream castings, I guess.
Okay.
This is my favorite part of the book club, I've decided. Like, we just implemented it, but now I love it. So I've only thought, we can go further if we want to, but I've only thought of people for Will and Fern.
Me too.
And I'm going to show you the picture of them that I'm imagining when I cast them. So who I'm casting for Fern is very random, but Shailene Woodley. This is the picture I imagine.
Okay.
I kind of feel like it's giving Fern energy. She could be like cool, chill girl, but also if like she can kind of grow up when she has to. And then wait for this. I'm really like I like this one. I'm picking. If we're gonna have
any like
I don't think
crossover.
We will. I don't think we will. This one's kind of random. Okay, so for Will, I'm picking. Oh wait, hold on. I'm not ready to say it. I have to Google him so I can find. I didn't screenshot the right picture. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's got to be this one picture I found.
Yeah. Because
he has the artsy boy vibes, but he can also have like the buttoned up, like, you know, businessman vibes. So I'm picking Tommy Martinez, and this is what he looks like. And
I don't think I've ever seen that man.
He's from the show Good Trouble. You guys know it's my favorite. He plays Gael on Good Trouble. If you guys have ever watched it, you'll know. But I feel like this picture can really show how he looks like a former artsy guy, but like now he's buttoned up. So that's who I'm casting: Shailene Woodley and Tommy Martinez.
Okay. I think that you're going to laugh at my person that I'm so saying excited. Is Will, because he's also from not Good Trouble, but from the Fosters.
Stop it. Are you serious?
Or the latter seasons. Wait. I think that Noah Centineo would be a good Will.
Wait, we do have crossover because of the show.
I know.
Wait, I love that.
I think Noah Centineo or Cole Sprouse.
I almost picked a Sprouse.
I think like Cole Sprouse specifically, like with the dark hair would work.
Yes, I almost picked him.
Noah Centineo better fits it because he has the curly hair, and I was picturing Will with curly hair as well.
Same, yes. Wait, I love this. So far, I'm like all for these castings.
And then for Fern, I was thinking Lily Reinhart, which is interesting because like
you literally picked Riverdale.
Her and Cole Sprouse, like they actually dated in real life, I think. But like in Riverdale, like they were the love interest for each other.
I love that. I'll tell you, I was imagining the mom, Maggie. I was imagining her as like a blonde, like very pretty, kind of elegant, like older woman. I could see that being Lily Reinhart's mom, but I couldn't pick someone because I was like, Shailene Woodley's not giving that same vibe.
Well, like this gives Fern like this photo of Lily Reinhart.
Ooh, cute. Oh, I love that. Wait, I'm obsessed.
I think that's a good one.
If you have specific photos, you can share them with me and I'll put them in our Instagram. I
don't have specific
Otherwise, I'll just pick ones. But I love this. Wait, dreamcasting is my new favorite thing. It really brings a visual because as I was reading it, I don't think I really pictured too much of anything. So when I got done and I could put faces to names, I was like, wait, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I love that for us. Okay, well, if you're listening to this and we dreamcasted someone that you don't agree with, please tell us who you were thinking. That's what I want to know. I wish that everyone could just like be here live and we could just dreamcast this book together. Did you have any other characters that you like really felt strongly about how they look?
No.
Me either.
I was thinking for some reason like Peter could be Owen Wilson, but I don't see him being a serious character.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Me either, but yeah.
I just think like he looks like him in my brain.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like that's hilarious. I wouldn't even.
I just don't see him being like the dad, like father, serious
like the sweet
character.
guy. Yeah, like the sweet, like loving, like stepdad guy. That's funny. All right, well, thanks for coming to the book club, you guys. This was a good one. I'm honestly not mad that we only did like 4 questions because it fit well.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially considering our extremely long catch up. But stay tuned for next week's episode because we are doing something very fun. I'm very excited.
I think it's going to be so fun.
Yes, I can't wait. Oh, Natalie just texted me. How cute. Natalie, aww. So for her baby shower, she gave out, seeds to everybody, like wildflower seeds. And I came home and planted them right away. And I've sent her like little progress updates throughout. And I haven't done it in a while. And I was really hoping there'd be a flower by the time Murphy was born because that would be so cute, but there wasn't. Yeah. But she just texted me, how are your flowers doing? Mine have a couple blooms. And I'm so jealous because mine don't, but I'll have to send her a picture. Aww. Anyways, that's all for the episode. Thank you guys for listening. Anything else that you want to say before we ditch these people?
I don't think so.
Bye, follow us bitches. On Instagram. Yeah. Follow us on Instagram at We Run On Coffee. Go ahead and drop in the comments on Instagram a big shout out to Marissa for our new intro music. And wait,
tell me what you think of it.
Yes,
if you hate it, don't tell me.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us that you like it. Okay. Yeah. Is that going to be at the end too? I forgot. Did we?
Yes.
Okay. It's like our old one was. So yeah, if you love our new intro music, definitely let us know and say, thanks, Marissa, and tag her in the comments because I think that would be so cute. And that's all for this podcast, I'm pretty sure. So like we said, follow us, reach out, comment, DM us, send us an email, talk to us because we just talk to each other and we need to talk to you guys too because, it's getting kind of weird over here. We're just like saying all our own opinions. We need to hear yours.
Yeah.
So let us know. But anyway, we will see you next Wednesday with our new episode. And with that, I'm Arika.
And I'm Marissa. And we run on coffee. Bye.